So you have to understand, understand what it is you're doing, understand your purpose, and understand that you have to stick to your vision and be consistent. As a leader, you have to maintain consistency because people are watching you. And at any given moment, the negativity is trying to penetrate everything that you do so they can become discouraged or have an excuse to not do. Because the harsh reality is, once human beings come here after they did all that pushing and racing to get to that egg, with their after their parents then did to do sexual encounter to create them, you didn't push past those million sperm to get here. And for some reason, it's like, all right, after a certain age, now you just get lazy. You know, if I ain't made to do it, I'm not gonna do it. What's going on? It's WillMyCraven. Another day with another video. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And without further ado, I'd like to get right into this video. Yeah. So, did a video about King. Yeah, basically today. This will just air a different day, but yeah, same get up. But talked about kings, but now I want to talk about leadership. And as a man, it is imperative that not only that you walk in masculinity, which I say true masculinity is leadership, is teaching. In order to be a good teacher, you also have to be a good leader, which means you need to be in command. And when you're in command, you also need to be in command and control of who you are, your emotions, and being able to stay the course. Your mental fortitude has to be on point. And this is something that a lot of guys just simply have a hard time once they're in leadership, being in control. Like if someone within the group gets out of pocket or starts wavering, being contentious, you have to be able to know how to handle that. The first thing you shouldn't be doing is doing the same thing that they're doing. You can't match their energy. You can't match their spirit. You can't match their mindset. You need to be already processing, all right, this guy's doing this. How much did you learn of this individual? And if it's the first time you're dealing with this individual, you need to be approaching them like they're an actual child. But don't really talk to them so much so as a child but that's kind of interesting because I don't even talk to my son like he's a child. I talk to him like he's a grown man, even though I remind him, okay, yeah, you're still a child. But when we interact, I'm talking to him as if he's a grown man, but breaking it down to him as if he's a child. Which means I'm going in full detail. So when you're in situations that require you to be a leader, you have to be detailed. And when you're being detailed, then you get to see how receptive they are and how they're moving. Because the detail, as I always say, the answers are in the details. The answers are going to always be in the details. So if they're listening to you, the answers are going to be there. But the answers that you want to see on your end is how they respond and how they move. So your details is actually going to tell you how they're going to respond. And in their response, then you move accordingly. You're getting a lot of intel within even the stuff that you're actually saying. Because those who are contentious, those who are of any type of negativity, you have to turn around and be paying attention to every little detail, because every little detail is going to give you the hint and clues in order to diffuse them. You have to do it in that manner. So that's why I say true masculinity is teaching, which is why I love to use Jesus as being the ultimate master of masculinity, because even when he's in the midst of the Pharisees, when you don't believe it, you don't believe the Bible. I don't, like I said, if you don't ever believe the Bible, that's fine. Take it as the stories though, because it's showing you something there. The Pharisees, his biggest rival, is constantly coming at him, trying to kill the man, and they ask him certain things to get him caught up so he can condemn himself, so they can kill him. But every single time, because he's a true master of masculinity, a true master of oneself and being in control, he turns around and they can never say anything. They have to back down. They have to go by other means to actually get him in order to kill him, which is to infiltrate his own camp. And he still even knows that, because he turns around and tells Judas, you're the betrayer. The one who dips the hand in the cup and eat with me is the one who betrays me. And none of them are paying attention to even that. So as a leader, you have to be paying attention to everything. It's imperative that you're paying attention to everything. Because when you're paying attention to everything, your spirit's going to pick up on this, it's going to pick up on that, and it's going, all right, because I pay attention so much, I know what this is going to do. And I pretty much know that, all right, if this does happen, these are the possible outcomes. You're taking notes down. You're like people are being such awe of LeBron James. They're like, man, that man got a photographic memory, because he's paying attention to the details. Like a lot of your upper echelon athletes, they're paying attention to the details, and they remember what it is that they saw. And because they remember what it is that they saw, they can turn around and counter what it is that they seen. This is how, as a leader, it's mandatory that you be capable of doing this, or you're going to lose the troops. You're going to lose your comrades. And they're looking to you for guidance, just as well as your family is going to be looking to you for guidance. One of the things that women would love to do is to not have to be able to do everything or be dependent upon you. They just sit back and do whatever it is that you ask them to do. They're gonna want to have meaning and purpose, and that purpose allows them to actually be able to gloat back to their friends, female friends. So as a man, you have to have yourself in prime position in order to be able to lead. Now, granted, you also got to know that there may be a Judas in your camp, and even your own woman may end up being that Judas. I mean, it is what it is. But even when you see, that's the thing. Even when you realize that she's possibly the Judas, you plan accordingly. And when you plan accordingly, it's only going to fulfill the purpose. And in Jesus' case, the purpose was, okay, in a certain amount of time, I'm going to die. And when I die, I'm going to send back my spirit. And when I send back my spirit, then he's going to turn around and lead and guide everybody in all truth, and mission accomplished. I get what I want, which is the same way you have to approach anybody that's your Judas. All right, I know this is what you're going to do, but how does it align with my purpose? Because once it aligns with my purpose, then I'm still going to be able to lead. Jesus' Spirit, he sends the Spirit to do what? As I just said, lead you and guide you in all truth. That's still his Spirit, still leading, masterfully. So you have to understand, understand what it is you're doing, understand your purpose, and understand that you have to stick to your vision and be consistent. As a leader, you have to maintain consistency, because people are watching you. And at any given moment, the negativity is trying to penetrate everything that you do, so they can become discouraged or have an excuse to not do. Because the harsh reality is, once human beings come here after they did all that pushing and racing to get to that egg, after their parents then did to do sexual encounter to create them, you didn't push past those million sperm to get here. For some reason, it's like, all right, after a certain age, now you just get lazy. You know, if I ain't made to do it, I'm not gonna do it. But the harsh reality is that if you as a leader continue to be consistent, they will continue to be consistent with you, because human beings they are going to naturally do try to stay in line with the next man. And if the next man is the leader, they ain't doing nothing, then they all just going to fall by the wayside. So as a leader, man, you have to maintain consistency. You have to be detailed. You have to be paying attention. You have to be 50 moves minimum in my book ahead. I always say 50 moves. It's not, no, I'm not 5 moves ahead of you. Because if I'm 5 moves ahead of you, I don't know who else is coming over here possibly that's already a moves ahead of that, which then turn around, all right, after I done got this far ahead of you, I'm not prepared for this one already coming over here. No, I have to be prepared for that's coming over here too. So what happens when whatever this situation comes over here to come meet you, and now I got to deal with both of you at the same time and I'm not prepared for it? That is not going to work in your favor. This is why I say at least minimum staying 50 moves ahead. I prefer to be way ahead of that, but 50 moves is the minimum. Like, oh, okay, yeah, well, you know what? I might have forgot, but I still plan for it. So I already know, since I see it, all right, there's a solution. That's how you have to be. As a leader, you have to be in that mind frame. And you have to be, at times, no nonsense. Because if you're not no nonsense, it's showing weakness. And I don't care who it is out here, whether it's your woman or if it's one of your boys or whatever, the minute you show weakness, they're going to take advantage. It's human nature. The minute you show your woman weakness, she's going to take advantage. And trust to believe, a lot of the times the dudes can show their weakness, which is why a lot of females turn around and think they can do whatever, disrespect you, go get divorced or whatever, because you showed somewhere in there weakness. And it's to be expected when you're fresh into the game. You're not thinking about this stuff as a man, because most aren't telling you to remain consistent, to remain on your square. So there's no weakness anywhere in there. And because when there's no weakness anywhere in there, they can't really just flat out take advantage of it. They on their P's and Q's and thinking like, oh man, I don't know where I can get him. I don't know how I can one up. Because you're on your square. You're doing every single thing that you need to do and you're remaining consistent. So, lead by example. Do what you're supposed to do. Stay on your square. Pay attention. Be detailed. Be diligent. Be disciplined. Remain consistent. And because I'm going to keep saying that, you got to remain consistent. Even females will turn around and tell you one of their biggest things with a man is how he wasn't consistent. You got to remain consistent. And they love detail. And they love a guy who's paying attention, because it's like, you don't miss nothing. So, in order to consider yourself a king, as I said before on a previous video, you got to do all those things. And that makes you a bona fide leader. And that puts you in a position for people to follow you. People will like you. People will aspire to be like you. There's something about your life that they're looking at and saying, oh man, I wish I could do that. Or I'm going to try to do that. Yeah, you know what? I am going to do that. You're inspiring me. But with that being said, it's WillMyCraven. Fix your face, fix your spirit, and in all things, do them well. Do them diligently, and do them to the best of your ability. And as I always say, be easy.